covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
Happening now, dust off your cowboy boots. The Reading Rodeo is in full swing and we'll take you live inside the arena, plus in an Action News Now exclusive.
It's a model that's existed for over 100 years. We feel that it works well.
PG&E is asking for another rate increase, but we'll break down what it means for your wallet. And new at 6, Shasta County's newest county clerk and registrar of voters responds to some early criticism. Shasta County's new registrar of voters is speaking out after it was revealed that he is registered as both a Democrat and a Republican in 2 different states. Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield spoke with Clint Curtis earlier today about the party switch.
According to Shasta County records, Clint Curtis, the newest clerk and registrar of voters, registered as a Republican last week. But he's also registered in Titusville, Florida as a Democrat, saying that he did so when he ran for Congress in 2006.
The council meetings, and you heard him like yelling out and all this kind of stuff, that's not the way Democrats used to be. So I think the Democratic Party's kind of left me behind.
He explained that while he didn't identify with former Florida Republican Governor Jeb Bush and his administration's ideologies,
I could be a Trump Republican, because essentially the things that I was running for in 2006 for Congress is kind of the stuff that Trump's running for now.
But Curtis's change of party wasn't the only thing that people noticed. According to county records, the address of his registration is the same as Patty Plum, one of 3 members of the now suspended Shasta County Elections Commission. In a text, Plum told me she and her husband are friends with Curtis and his wife and offered them a place to stay as his employment process moved along. Curtis and his wife tell me they plan to get their own place and change his registration address next week. He added that he plans to hold his first mock election in a few months to work out whatever issues with his staff that might pop up before the next general election.
They don't lose their job, they don't lose their seniority, don't lose anything, and they still don't have to deal with being in a fishbowl.
According to Assistant Registrar of Voters Joanna Franciscat, election rules in California allow residents to decide what address they'd like to use to register. It also does not bar them from switching party affiliations, like Curtis did.
I don't know, not my party anymore.
Reporting in Reading, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
By the way, Curtis's first day in his new role came yesterday when he toured the office and met with his staff. Orville police are investigating a dog attack that sent a woman to the hospital this afternoon in critical condition. It happened just before 1 in the area of Burlington Avenue near A Street in Orville. Officials say the woman was bitten multiple times by pit bulls and was airlifted to a hospital. The incident remains under investigation. The dogs are now in the custody of the Northwest SPCA. Now a live look at the Sundial Bridge in Reading. The Reading Rodeo is going on not too far from there as we see the Sacramento River. Maybe everyone's over at the rodeo because not seeing anyone that I can see on the bridge there, which is kind of rare. But let's check in with Howie and get the latest on conditions.
Yeah, weather's looking fantastic actually, Alan. A couple days ago, really windy. Well, winds for the most part on the lighter side. Maybe a little bit of a breeze out of the south for us, as temperatures have been warming, especially since the early part of the week when we were in the 50s and the 60s. Here we are right now in the low to mid 80s, pretty much where we're supposed to be for this time of year. Up there in Alturas, not bad at all at 65. Weaverville at 74. Chester right now at 67. Willows at 82 degrees. Now, here's a look at our humidity levels. All right, these are on the lower side. That makes comfort pretty good. But for fire weather, we'll be about 15 to 25% or lower by Sunday and Monday. And that will bring this. Yes, we get elevated fire weather by the end of the weekend. And we'll talk more about this, Alan, coming up in just a few minutes from now.
Thank you, Howie. PG&E just today filed a request with state regulators to raise rates again. Rates would go up 3.6% in 2027. But in an Action News Now exclusive, anchor Haley Watt spoke with PG&E's regional vice president, who explains why, for the first time in a few years, you might actually see your bill go down if the plan is approved.
With inflation, with gas prices, everything is getting higher, and it's hard to live in California, honestly, these days.
No one wants to pay more for anything, and over the last few years, the price of one crucial service is soaring: energy. PG&E's last state-sanctioned rate hike increased the cost of gas and electric about 3.6% from 2024 to 2026.
It's getting to that point again where it's like the utilities are starting to outweigh, the paycheck itself.
But according to PG&E North Valley and Sierra Region Vice President Joe Wilson, at least some of that money's gone to life-saving use.
Our undergrounding program, our enhanced power line safety settings, a lot of vegetation management work.
So far, they've put 900 miles of power lines underground since announcing plans 5 years ago to bury 10,000 miles. But they're not done yet, which is one reason why the utility just filed another 4-year rate hike plan with the California Public Utilities Commission.
The whole suite of things that we've accomplished in the last few years, we're going to expand on it.
You may be panicking about what this will cost, but Wilson says they're asking for the smallest percentage increase in a decade.
Are you able to tell me year by year what increases on average people could expect?
Well, I can tell you from 25 through 27, we expect rates to be largely flat. This year, rates will continue to be flat. Next year, they'll go down. And then in 27, we expect them to be at what they are here in 2025.
Wilson says it's possible only because they're using new tech like drones to inspect lines, and they're now contracting out work in bundles. The changes have cut costs by about $2.5 billion over the past 3 years.
By working smarter, bundling work, looking at ways that we can drive costs down by negotiating better deals with our vendors. Really, we've been able to drive a lot of cost out of the business.
PG&E filed for bankruptcy in 2019, but after 6 years, they're making money again to the tune of $86 million for shareholders in 2024.
97% of the profits that the company made, we're putting back into the business. Our shareholders are receiving a pretty small dividend. The last dividend we issued was 2.5 cents. The typical dividend that you see in the utility business is right around 50 cents.
A lot of times there's finger pointing at how much money people in positions of power within the company make. How do you explain those salaries?
Well, our executive compensation really is taken from shareholder dollars. 75% of executive salaries are based on company performance, which is safety and reliability and driving costs down out of the business. And as you can see over the last few years, we've been very successful at hitting those targets.
Wilson says the new rate proposal will help meet those performance goals, not just with wildfire prevention, but also by modernizing the grid to ensure it can serve 3 million electric vehicles by 2030, and that it can serve 20,000 new customers a year by 2030, which Wilson says could also drive down rates.
Like it or not, PG&E is the only option for most customers in Northern California. Can you tell me if you think that's fair and why exactly that is?
It's a model that's existed for over 100 years. We feel that it works well. It is regulated by the state California Public Utilities Commission. They really take a deep dive into our business to make sure that we are operating prudently, we're making good financial decisions, and it's in the best interest of the customer.
Haley Watts, Action News Now.
The CPUC says an administrative law judge and assigned commissioner will review testimony, rebuttal testimony, evidentiary hearings, and legal briefings to assess the reasonableness of proposals and counterproposals made by the utility and interveners. Today, the Shasta County Sheriff's Office paid tribute to those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
End of watch, October 21, 1991.
Today's Peace Officer Memorial at the Old County Courthouse in Reading had one of the biggest turnouts in the event's history. The event began back in the early 90s. This year's memorial is the final one to be held at the Old Courthouse.
It is our time to be able to give back to those and honor those who have gone before us and paid the ultimate sacrifice and have not come home.
This year's commemorative wreath was made by the Anderson Florist Shop, with the ceremony itself taking up to 3 months to plan. A total of 16 peace officers were remembered, with the oldest dating back to the 1800s. Inspire Charter School, School of the Arts and Sciences, is a step closer to getting its own campus, an effort that's been in the works for 6 years. The district has green-lighted funding for the $34 million campus project. 350 students have been sharing space with Chico High School since it opened since the school opened, the charter school, 14 years ago. The current Inspire campus has 16 portables with a shared cafeteria, dance room, and classroom.
I know that the education of the arts and sciences is going to be so much grander and so much more flexible.
With a new location and bigger spaces and bigger opportunities, that means students have more opportunities to grow.
Crews will break ground next month on the new campus on Fremont Street off Notre Dame Boulevard in Chico on a 7.5-acre site. Happening today, Chico State students are taking the next step by walking across the graduation stage. Sports Director Matthew Kerr Wilson is live at University Stadium, where tonight's commencement will be, where family and friends are waiting for the big moment. So what's it like there? It looks like you're on the track, ready to take off there, Matthew.
Yeah, I was going to get a jog in, Alan. Actually, people are filing in by the hundreds. There are 633 students that are going to graduate this evening. Those 633 students, they each get 10 guest tickets. So up to 6,000 people could be in attendance tonight. The gates just opened about 10-15 minutes ago, and as you can see behind me, they are filing in. We've got droves of parents, happy parents, excited parents, ready to see their kids' dreams come true. All the hard work is about to pay off. These kids are going to go out into the workforce, try to change the world. I'm sure they will. So it's very exciting here. Now, the ceremony will commence at 7 p.m. And I know that we've got a special friend, one of our very own, graduating tonight as well. So it's all exciting. Alan, reporting from Chico State University, I'm Matthew Kerr Wilson, Action News Now.
Yeah, thanks, Matthew. We have a few people graduating from here at Action News Now. Tonight's student speech will be from our overnight producer, our morning show producer, Ariana. So congratulations to her. We look forward to that. And tomorrow, the commencement ceremony for the College of Engineering, Computer Science, and Construction Management takes place at 7 p.m. Now a live look at the Reading Rodeo, now underway. We'll take you there live straight ahead.